Today, we bring you some of the greatest shorter players in the history of the NHL.
Sure, they were a little shorter than average, but definitely not short on talent.
Or determination, or passion, or heart.
Or guts, or ability, or tenacity, or character.
Okay, Kenny, we get it. Looks like we're a bit short on time. But bum. You get the point.
Stand by for SPORTSNET's NHL Countdown. Hey everyone, welcome to SPORTSNET Countdown. I'm Ken Reid.
And I am Ivanka Osmak, a much taller Ivanka Osmak than Ken Reid.
Settle down, Shaq. You're only taller because of me than you're wearing heels.
What's your beef? I'm not that tall. I'm just taller than you. You obviously have a problem with it, but it's okay. Being shorter, vertically challenged, has its advantages.
Whatever, Osmak. Yes, short can work, you know. Not everyone in the NHL is a gigantic beast. Some guys on the smaller side, and they fit in just fine, thank you.
And that is what we're going to focus on in this episode. The short stuff that is also so dominating. The greatest shorter players. Let's get our countdown started. Back to back.
Number 25, Matt Zuccarello.
Game 2. This is all about puck luck. Right in his feet, Zuccarello, back of the net.
Describing his teammate Matt Zuccarello, line mate Derek Brassard told a reporter, "I'm always looking for him, but he has a way of just finding me. Matt's play's bigger than his size, that's for sure."
You talked about his small stature, but no one's got a bigger heart and guts than Matt Zuccarello. And that's one of the reasons why he's become not only a fan favorite, but a favorite of the players.
Number 24, Daniel Briere. On his life in the NHL, the 5'9" Briere says, "I get knocked down quite a bit, but the one time you're able to find the loose puck and put it in the net, it makes up for all the other times that you get knocked down."
Number 23, Mike Camilleri.
Camilleri twists some room. Mike Camilleri around the defender. He scores!
Mike Camilleri notched his 500th career point during the 2013-14 season, his 11th in the NHL. This year, he takes his skills to New Jersey. He signed a 5-year contract worth $25 million.
Number 22, Steve Sullivan. Listed at 5'9" and 165 pounds, Steve Sullivan moved from the Leafs to Chicago during the 1999-2000 season after Chicago claimed him on waivers.
Dean, shot, fake, passes across, they score! Dean with a great presence of mind to get it to the man we talked about, the ever-elusive Steve Sullivan.
In 73 games with the Blackhawks that year, Sullivan racked up 64 points.
Number 21, Dennis Maroon.
The net, he was only about 5'8".
Weighing in at only 170 pounds, presumably inclusive of his glorious mustache, Dennis Maroon tallied 60 goals during the 1981-82 season, reaching 136 points in the campaign.
Number 20, Rogie Vachon. Despite his size, Vachon's career saw him win the Vezina Trophy and play a key role on a Montreal team that won 3 Stanley Cups. "I played when players were smaller," Vachon told a reporter, "but I was still really small. I took my bruises, but I didn't want to back down. Never." Number 19, Cliff Ronning.
Blue man is Jelena. Here's Ronning. The tricky Ronning with the mess. Who's coming in? Score! Ronning scores the goal to give Vancouver a 1-0 lead with 2:20.
With stops in 6 other cities, Ronning was at his most productive in Vancouver, where he spent parts of 6 seasons and racked up 328 points as a 5'8" centerman for the Nucks.
To the line, Prairie shoots it wide. Ronning lets the shot go. Gets it in, he scores!
Number 18, Derek Roy.
Opportunity to draw first blood, Derek Roy. Roy moving in, puts on the brakes, and scores.
This year marks Derek Roy's 11th season in the NHL. He plays with Nashville on a 1-year deal. In 8 seasons with Buffalo, Roy, who measures in at 5'9", netted 161 goals.
To Roy. Roy drills one, scores! Derek Roy breaks it into the corner of the net with the hat trick, and the Buffalo Sabres have moved in front.
Number 17, Ken Lindsman. Listed by the NHL at a generous 5'11" and 180 pounds, Ken Lindsman, known as the Rat, looked even smaller in his forward-leaning posture. Lindsman notched 807 points in a career that spanned 4 teams in 14 years.
Save, rebound, score! Kenny Lindsman.
Number 16, Stan Jonathan.
Here's Jonathan getting a breakaway, gonna go. Jonathan shoots.
At only 5'8", Stan Jonathan built a successful career as an enforcer. When a Rangers fan hit him in the face with a program, it sparked an infamous brawl between the Bruins and Rangers fans in 1979. Saw Dennis Maruk at number 21 on our list. That makes sense because Dennis Maruk wore number 21 and he was selected 21st overall in the 1975 draft.
A short know-it-all, Mr. Ken Reid. He was a sniper, and we have more snipers coming up, plus some fine and fantastic goalies who were a tad on the short side. There's nothing wrong with that. Now we're going to throw to a segment we like to call, What Were You Thinking?
To his feet. Comes out of the booth, the penalty box, I should say, the terrarium of inequity. He loses his glove.
Welcome back to Sportsnet Countdown. Ken Reid, along with former NBA small forward Ivanka Osmak, and we are counting down the greatest shorter players.
I thought we worked this out in the commercial break. Apparently not. All right, I heard a great quote, though, that most of the players on the countdown could live by. Short people have a great perspective on life because they're always looking up. You get it? You get it? You kind of often have to do that with me. Anyhow, we are counting down now with a man who has worn the C for 2 NHL teams.
Nice heels.
Number 15, Brian Gionta.
And the Canadians get by, and there's a breakaway. Brian Gionta scores on the rebound. A short-handed goal ties the game 2-2.
At the end of the 2013-14 season, Habs coach Michel Therrien described 5'7" winger Brian Gionta as our captain, our leader, our unsung hero. Gionta's departure this offseason, while left Montreal with a large hole to fill at captain, that the team elected to go with 4 alternate captains for the 14-15 season.
Number 14, Roy Waters. Roy Waters was 5'3", 5'3", and he won both the Hart and Vezina trophies during his career and was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 1969. Career highlights include a span of 324 minutes and 40 seconds without giving up a goal, and a memorable game between the New York Americans and Waters' Pittsburgh Pirates, in which Waters stopped 70 shots.
Number 13, Howie Meeker. From 1946 to 54, Howie Meeker played right wing for the Maple Leafs. He won 3 Stanley Cups with them. Standing 5'9" in his playing days, Meeker believes the ice surface is too small for the modern game, telling a reporter, "They've got to be bigger. That's the problem. Players today are so big, so strong." And explaining that it was normal to weigh 160 to 175 pounds when he played the game.
Number 12, Henri Richard.
De Steve Shot à Cournoyer, vers Richard, il compte! Henri Richard donne les devants aux Canadiens.
3 inches shorter than his brother, the Rocket, the Pocket Rocket, helped bring a mind-boggling 11 Stanley Cups to Montreal. Attempting to account for his success, Richard explained, "I wasn't skilled like my brother, Beliveau, Mikita, or Hall, but I worked hard."
And right here, we get a great exhibition of stick handling by one of the best stick handlers in the league, Richard.
Number 11, Pat LaFontaine. When Pat LaFontaine first arrived in the NHL, Al Arbour, then coach for the Islanders, reveled in his presence in New York, comparing him to Marcel Dion and saying, "He's not very big, but he sticks his nose in there." Following a career that saw him tally more than 1,000 points, LaFontaine was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2003.
Brindamore on for Philadelphia. Shot by Kovalov. Save. Rebound. Score. Pat LaFontaine. It's a power play goal for his 1,000th career point.
Number 10, Doug Gilmour. Officially measuring 5'11", Doug Gilmour says he was only 5'9" and 160 pounds when Jacques Demers asked him to come on board to center a checking line for the Blues in 1983. "People said I was too small," Gilmour remembers. "I have to say thank you, because if it wasn't for them saying that, I maybe wouldn't have worked as hard as I had to."
For the pass, hit center to Gilmour. He scores! Gilmour took the center at 2-0, Toronto.
Number 9, Johnny Bower. Listed by the NHL at a generous 5'11" and 189 pounds, some put Bower at a more realistic 5'9", 170. Bower played for 4 Stanley Cup winning Toronto teams and won the Vezina Trophy twice during his 12 years with the Leafs.
Number 8, Gump Worsley. Eulogized by the New York Times as pudgy but agile, Gump Worsley measured in at 5'7" during his Hall of Fame career, winning 4 Stanley Cups and 2 Vezina trophies. Lou Nanne played alongside Worsley in Minnesota, and he remembered, "He didn't look like an athlete and smoked like a chimney between periods, but he was terrific when he put the pads on."
Number 7, Dave Keon.
I don't think there was a player in the National Hockey League that exhibited more speed than David Keon in his day. And one of the greatest backhands, I think, ever to play in the National Hockey League.
Part of a Maple Leafs team that won 4 Stanley Cups in 6 years, Dave Keon combined toughness and nonviolence, with writer Dave Bedini remembering, He was celebrated for being a non-violent player, for playing the game the right way. And that's antithetical to so many of our figures in hockey through today.
Number 6, Stan Mikita. Stan Mikita measured 5'9" as a center for the Chicago Blackhawks and 12'0" in his cameo as a statue atop a donut shop in both the Wayne's World movies. Mikita led the league in points 4 times in his career, won the Hart Trophy twice, and picked up 1 Stanley Cup title.
Love that we saw Stan Mikita at number 6 on our list. I know what Mike Myers was thinking back in the day when he put him in Wayne's World. He was thinking, this is awesome. I get to hang out with Stan Mikita on the set of Wayne's World and eat donuts. That's wicked.
Doodaloo, doodaloo, doodaloo. Let's do a little What Were You Thinking, though, right now.
Look in the replay. Watch Chris Letang. Look how he comes back into the bench.
He's trying to get Edler and Dorsett. And there's the shot from Joe Beek, 4-on-4 upcoming.
Well, Larry Bird, only 5 to go as we count down the greatest, shortest players of all time.
All right, Muggsy. First, we have to take a short break. All right, who will top our list? Here's a quick hit. He has never won a cup, but his brother did with the 1993 Canadiens. Stick around, the top 5 are coming up. Welcome back to Sportsnet Countdown. We are down to the top 5, and this next guy is not only shorter in height, but he rocks a short, long haircut.
Yes, the greatest shorter players, the top 5. Right now, we're going to span the generations, and we're going to Chicago for number 5.
Number 5, Patrick Kane. Officially measuring in at just under 6 feet, Patrick Kane credits rule changes following the 04-05 lockout for the resurgence of small players in hockey today, saying it became a more offensive game. Smaller guys are starting to play.
His accomplishments certainly haven't been hindered by his height. At age 25, Kane had already won the Calder Trophy, 2 Stanley Cup titles, and the Conn Smythe.
Number 4, Ted Lindsay. Only 5'8" and 163 pounds, Ted Lindsay said of his size, "I'm a little guy and I soon learned what that meant in this business. They find out in a hurry if you can take it. And if you can't, they run you out of the league. A little guy has to have plenty of self-confidence, and I was ready to prove it."
And prove it he did, playing 17 NHL seasons, winning 4 Stanley Cup championships with Detroit, and earning a spot in the Hall of Fame. Number 3, Martin St. Louis.
Moved it up the wall. Bellemore went down. Taylor the shot. Redirected. Score! Game 7! Martin St. Louis! We are going back to Tampa Bay!
Remembering his time coaching Martin St. Louis in Tampa Bay, John Tortorella says St. Louis had the heart of a lion. In 2011, Torts compared St. Louis to Matt Zuccarello, saying, "It's just hard to get to those small guys, especially with the quickness that both of them have."
He prevailed against the Flames.
At 5'8", St. Louis is playing in his 16th NHL season, hoping to hoist the cup for a second time before calling it a career. Number 2, Theo Fleury.
Saved by Fuhr. Ran out in front again. Fleury scores!
At 5'6", Theo Fleury was used to being the smallest man on the ice, and he was used to the injuries that came with it, saying, well, I'm down with the stick, sir. In 15 NHL seasons, Fleury averaged just over a point a game, finishing his career with 455 goals and 633 assists.
Asked his secret to playing in the NHL alongside much larger players, Fleury simply replied, I don't think of myself as little.
Number 1, Marcel Dionne.
The center would set franchise.
Dionne once bristled at being described as only 5'7", responding, I'm 5'7" and a half, not 5'7". I'm not little either. I'm stubby, not little. Arguably the best player to never win the Stanley Cup, Dionne scored 731 goals in his career.
A total bested only by players with the names Gretzky, Howe, and Ho. Dionne retired following 18 seasons in the NHL, and he was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1992.
Kings, Charlie Simmer goes behind the Detroit net. Simmer with it. Kings 81 on the pass over to Dionne. He scores! What a play!
Marcel Dionne, 1,771 career points, and he really helped put the Kings on the map in the mid-'70s, along with Rogie Vachon, two guys who weren't too big in stature, but were very, very big on the ice.
That is it for our show. The greatest shorter player. Sometimes, you know what, it doesn't pay to be the tallest in the room, although I certainly like being the taller one of us two. Right, Ken?
Funny, funny. If you have a problem with our list or with Osmak, hit us up on Twitter. Use the hashtag SNCountdown.
All right, Ken will get over it soon enough. His ego will be back to normal. I'm Ivanka Osmak.
I'm Ken Reid. Nice working with you, Larry Bird.